welcome home. It's Irish Family History with curious news and notes, celebrating our 4th year of this podcast at the Irish Roots Cafe, where every day's a holiday and there's always room for one more. One of 6 broadcast series from the head school at irishroots.com. I'm Mike O'Loughlin, your host, publisher of rare Irish books and information on every county in Ireland since 1978. Be sure to read our blog, complete with links to click on from this podcast, and search our master index and books for free. Molly, wet the tea. Katie, bar the door. Sweeney, clear that floor and bring out the Irish dancers. It's time we get this show on the road. Oh, yes, it is. And this is, as you know, year 6. I'm getting ready to make a new intro there, so we'll have that up to date just as soon as the head school launches. More on that later. This is show number 185, and show notes for the Irish Family History show today include: family name of the day is Tarrant. The Irish county of the month is Wexford. Searching for Donovan, Rowan, Joyce, Keane, Corkery, and O'Keefe. Number 4, curious news, the world's richest Irish-born man. Now, I wonder who he is, and can you trace your family tree to him? Number 5, who ruined the O'Neill inauguration seat? Number 6, who's being paid to plant flowers, and I wonder if I could get in on that. And the 1 Minute Podcast, we're going to talk about the new head school that we're forming and how it's combining up with the Irish Roots Cafe, so stay tuned today. We've got a lot to talk about. Okay, the first quick note is that we now have 7 Irish genealogy county books with color maps, detailed color maps on the front from the 19th century. And later this week, we're going to add County Tipperary and counties Cavan and Leitrim to the existing color books of Galway, Clare, Dublin, Limerick, and Donegal. And these maps are good, and they should help you do some research if you're looking for a specific location or how it relates to some other point in Ireland or within that county. But I've got a link on the blog to more about that. You can see a little bit, and wanted to let you know right away. And number 2, yes, 2011 is the launch for the combined online head school and Irish Roots Cafe. They're going to be both for one, same cost, no price increase. And we've got 1 podcast series for each field of study already going, so that's a good start. And we're looking for more students and teachers. Let me see. Very important thing, number 3, the photo and link enhanced version of this podcast, the enhanced version with the pictures on it. We're going to move that to our members only section for new, after today's podcast. The old enhanced podcast will remain on iTunes, so don't worry about that. But we're going to try something a little bit new, and we're moving that to our members area on the webpage. So if you've got that and you're not a member and you still want to listen, go to the regular podcast. I'll have a link to that on the blog too. It's on our webpage at irishroots.com, and you can still keep on listening just like always and for free, and enjoy it. It's on iTunes too, and it's on our webpage. You can sign up either place. It's free. Now, here comes something special. Hey, I'm going to give the 2-minute drill to this now. I've got to explain what I'm putting together. Here's a brochure I'm going to finalize in the next week. Well, by the end of this week. Let's say by St. Patrick's Day. And here, I'm just going to read a little bit to you to let you know what it is we're doing. And we're combining the Irish Roots Cafe, which has been around for 30 years or something along those lines, with the head school concept. We've got a head school established here in Kansas City. We did a live presentation and taught several subjects to people live. Well, I'm going to bring the same concept to that webpage, and we're going to use our 7 podcast series that we have as sort of a base around which to build the classes and courses. And of course, you can listen into those podcasts anytime and benefit from them, especially if you're in a member. But gosh, we've got 300 audio, video, and regular old podcasts that we're going to be able to draw from. And of course, we've got our 60 rare books that we put together over the last 30 years. And we're going to have updates not only on our regular blog, but I got a new blog just started. I got a link to that on the blog, on today's blog, so you can look at that. And of course, we've done a lot of neat things. We've got the first Irish genealogy series on the web. We had the first Missouri Irish book, the first republication of the Annals by Connellan, and the first live head school program of ours that we put on this year. So we're real proud of it. But we're going to have online memberships, which is online only, just like it is now. You know what? In the old days, they say tuition to a head school might be just a bit of turf or butter. Well, that's our turf or butter. And number two, there's going to be the regular membership, or full membership, sometimes we called it. We're going to call that the Hedgerow Historian membership. And, you know, all those folks way back when the hedge school started, you know, they learned and huddled near the hedgerows. And then we're going to have a Poor Irish Scholar category, which is the gold membership. And then we've got the Leader of the Clan membership. Those are the guys that sponsored the schools back in the old days and made everything happen. And we're looking for some of that too. Okay, well, let's move on to the book of the month, County Wexford, Ireland, Genealogy and Family History Notes. I'll just read a few little extracts from that book. You know, it's part of that the 34-volume set on Irish families. And County Wexford, you know, it starts out in that first volume where they have some County Wexford's families in it. And then this book goes into more detail. And some of the big families there, of course, are names like Murphy and Doyle and Walsh and Byrne. Then you got Cullen and Bryan and Roach and Kelly and Redmond and Ryan and Bolger, Whelan, sometimes Whalen, and spelled all different kinds of ways. And then there's other families, O'Day and O'Leary, Devereux and Esmond, Stafford and Myler, Bolger, it never ends. And the major towns, Wexford Town, Gorey, New Ross, and Enniscorthy. If you're researching in Wexford, you're going to know those. And this book has the complete existing returns from the census of 1659. And that census shows the original ways of spelling the place names and the family names. So you'll want to know that in case your name has changed over the centuries. And we know that's a common thing. We've got, here's how that reads in there. It'll say like principal Irish names and their number. And in one particular barony in Wexford, it'll say Doyle 25, Doran 10, Duffy 8, Foley 9, and so on. So it tells you how many of a family or a clan gathered there. But a lot of times, most of the time for the Irish families, it's not going to give you all the first names, but it's going to tell you what barony within that county the people with your name stayed in, where they concentrated at, and they usually are concentrated in certain areas. It's part of that detective game you play when hunting down your family if you've come to a dead end. And I find that if you know the county, it does some good just to get used to the barony names and, of course, the city names, of course, and get used to it, and even the landmarks, because some reference might lead you to your family if you realize it's from your county. And, hey, I also want to remind you that we've got this podcast that I'm reading out right now, talking out right now. We've got a blog reader. If you press a little button on our blog, the blog is read to you by the computer, so to speak. And, of course, then we've got our blog itself, which is written. And like I said, we're going to add a blog to our hedge school pages. I'll have a link to figure all that out. But I've done that. I've done a couple quick little news releases there on the covers and on the new brochure I'm designing just to get it working. So we got all kinds of new things coming up. 2 blogs. Can you believe it? I didn't think I could do that myself. Hey, remember, coming up, check your family tree, the world's richest born Irish man. And also, who destroyed O'Neill's seat, and why did they do that? Time to raise our eyes skyward, give thanks, and ask for help. Here are today's magnificent 7. Number 1, welcome new member Martin Collins of Winchester, California, searching for John Corkery, born 25th of March, 1872, in Cork, Ireland. Hey, Corkery, born in Cork. That's pretty good. And we've also got him down as the son of Cornelius Corkery and Mary Connell. And there's also a Collins married to Mary Agnes Corkery, born in 1892. Got the details on the blog to that. Number 2, Keith Egan of Osage, Iowa, your passenger list. Meath genealogy book and 1659 census have shipped. Number 3, welcome gold member Robert O'Keefe. We're going to do something special on O'Keefe of New Rochelle, New York. Your Annals of Ireland by the Four Masters has shipped, and that makes you the customer of the week. Researching O'Keefe and Buckley from County Cork, and I've got some Buckleys in my family line. I think they're from Cork, so we're old buddies, I bet. Number 4, welcome new member Gary Young of Dover Plains, New York, searching for Keene and Ledwith. Number 5, welcome new member Alice Shook of Hermitage, Pennsylvania, searching for great-grandfather John Joyce, born 1830, Baholo Parish. We're going to do something on Joyce just for you in one of future podcasts there. And she says, my grandmother was born 1868 in Tullamore, Cary. Number 6, welcome new member Deborah Warner of San Diego, California, trying to determine where her ancestors came from in Ireland, looking for Rowan, it looks like, R-O-W-A-N, Hughes and McKenna, link on the blog. And welcome new member Amory C. Dowling of Rockville, Maryland, trying to get back to John Donovan in the U.S. Civil War. He was a veteran, and there's 2 conflicting stories. Got a little bit about that on the blog. That reminds me, before we go any further, thank you, each and every member. We had a real good week last week. March is always a real good month, so we thank you for helping, and you're the only support you got. If it wasn't for you, there'd be no podcast, there'd be no books, there'd be no voice coming over the airwaves to you right now, so we really, really do appreciate it. And now, the Irish family name of the day. Well, it's Tarrant, T-A-R-R-A-N-T. That's a fairly scarce name, I think, and it's in honor of member Dennis Tarrant of Aurora, Colorado, searching for birth records for grandparents Dennis Tarrant, born in 1864, probably in Enniskeane, County Cork, he says. And you can spell that name with a double R in Tarrant, T-A-R-R, and the end of it could be A-N-T or E-N-T. You just never know. And then sometimes it's sort of tied in mistakenly, I bet, sometimes to Torrance, T-O-R-R-A-N-C-E. And then you also have some weird connections with names like Thorn and Skehan and Thornton and Drinane. So be aware, there could be some real hazy connections. And it's part of Variant Spelling Group number 1958, and that's from the Guide to the Various Spelling of Irish Family Names. I've got a link to that on the blog. Put that book together a couple years ago just to help study these names and see where they might come from. It's nice to have them all in one book, instead of having to scatter around, and it takes care of everybody at one time. Well, now let's take a look at the notes on the name. What do I find here when I take a quick look in my library? Well, it's fairly scarce like I thought, and many sources say it's of English origin originally when found in Ireland. And in the county books from the Irish Family Project, well, I found the name real quick in Cork and Kerry, and, for those in County Cork, it was said that they may stem from the same family as Torrens, T-O-R-R-E-N-S, that's found up north in Ulster. A curious thing. And we also find that the name in the Cork book, that's volume 4 of the Irish Families Project, the name is given in the Union of Kanturk and in the Union of Mill Street. And I took a quick look over in the Kerry book, which is volume 6 of our Irish Family series, and it gives a Sam Tarrant and an Ellen Tarrant, and they're given in separate places under 2 different locations, 2 different streets, I think it is, so it's always good to have something like that, especially if you've got a Sam or an Ellen in your family tree. We're going to take a look here. Let me see. Was it given in the Irish Book of Arms? Well, I'm afraid it wasn't, but that's okay. It's such a scarce name, Usually those names that had arms, there might be a few more of them in the country. They had more political pull, you think? Or they were wealthy enough to have the name carried on. So it's not given in the Irish Book of Arms. And, hey, that reminds me, this hedge school thing, I'm going to have an Irish book, a coats of arms database in the members area on this new thing. I think it'll be in the members area. It might be in the free school area, too. I don't know. But it'll be fun. You'll be able to look real quick and see if and when you might have had a coat of arms in Ireland or somebody by your name. coming up later this episode, Burren farmers are paid good amounts to grow flowers for conservation. I got a link I'll show. Man, that's what's that all about? Hey, and let me see. The free master index online at irishroots.com gives only 6 listings for the name, so that tells me it's a fairly scarce name. When you hit into that index and you find only 6 returns come back, you can bet that's telling you something. But it's in the 19th century birth index, and it's in the families of County Kerry and the families of County Cork, as I said earlier in the historical description up there. It's also in Irish names and surnames by the Reverend Patrick Wolfe. And, of course, man, there's so many family names in that work. It's great. And number 5, it's also in the Genealogist's Guide to the Spelling of Irish Names, which we just covered before, too. So not a lot of extra sources, but at least, it's out there, and there are records to find if you happen to be poking around. And you can use this same master index free to find your name. Just click on it on the our webpage at irishroots.com over there on the left-hand column, and you can click on that, and you type in the box your name without the O or the Mac if there's one there, and it'll pull everybody up with that name either with or without the Mac, so that works real good. Now it's time for everybody's favorite Around the World in Irish Ways. We've got random web pages and videos of the month here. Number 1, we have a video, The Terrence Do the UK. That's a video, and that's on YouTube. So if you're a Terrence, you might want to look at that and see if any of those folks are related to you, or if they look like you, or if they look like crazy Uncle Bob. You never know. Number 2, Doa Family Village, County Donegal. It's a village, and it's a real simple look at the famine. They didn't doll it up too much. It looks probably more like it really was back in those times. So if you're out in County Donegal, I'd say you should visit that famine village and take a look at the County Donegal video, link on the blog. Hey, Ros na Rún, that's an Irish language TV show. 2 weeks ago, I think it was, Stephen Fry made a cameo on there, and everybody seemed to get a kick out of that. And that's been part of our assignment for that's extra credit for our Irish language class with Renata. Ros na Rún. So if you're after learning, you hear a little English mixed in there, but you hear several dialects. And I also hear they're having trouble coming up with a lot of native speakers to keep things going. Some dialects are sort of getting real scarce. Some people know the book learning, but they don't really have that down-home knowledge, you know what I mean. Number 4, the basking sharks in the Irish Sea. That's a video. Those basking sharks are the second biggest fish in the sea. I've seen some people that look like they're basking people, and they could be the second biggest fish in the sea too. But that's on YouTube. Link to the blog. That's 4 of them, and you can also see our Irish video shorts. I'm going to have more of them with this Hedge School. I'm going to let members request special topics, and I think it's going to be real interesting. We get this going. Curious news and notes from Ireland and the diaspora all around the world today. Number 1, Queen Elizabeth I ordered the ancient inauguration seat of the O'Neill family destroyed, trampling 3 centuries of tradition. That's where they just crowned him the king or the chieftain of all the Irish, and that was the last stronghold of the Irish, don't you know? And that's why she destroyed it, is because O'Neill represented the Irish in the old Irish ways and another power, don't you? But Tyrone's fort, the Tullahoge Fort at Lochry, has been saved for generations yet to come by act of the government, I think you'd say. Link on the blog. Number 2, all you O'Briens, look up that family tree, because Dennis O'Brien is worth $4.2 billion, and he's the richest Irish-born person in the world. He replaces Quinn in the number 1 spot. You poor Quins, you can probably only get $3.8 billion. Number 3, the 40th World Irish Dance Championships were held in 2010, and there is a movie coming out. I think they're calling it Jig, and they got a preview on the blog. I got a link to that. Number 4, 300,000 euros are being paid to 117 farmers to grow flowers in the Burren. Up there around County Clare, there were a lot of Vikings and battles and Brian Boru, and And the O'Loughlin's were there. That's my family. What would the Vikings and all those hardcore fighting men say about just making a living growing flowers? They might have liked that after going through all that kind of trouble. But that's my father's people. That's their line, and it's all part of a conservation program. Got a link on the blog. Number 5, most outstanding fish caught in Ireland in the last year. Well, I guess there's a little meeting and vote taken every year to figure that out, and they've got the results online. I've got it on the irishtimes.com, link on our blog. And number 6, like I said, that Ross na Ruin is running out of Irish speakers for the show, and that program's good for brushing up on your Irish or even getting used to it. And they say that, we're supposed to be doing that for extra credit for our class, but you know what? I haven't even been able to spend enough time on the regular credit things to do any good, and I think Renata's going to fire me from class. I've been so busy during March, I haven't been able to go down to the last class, and I think I'm in trouble. But that's all of the official notes today, and we're going to have some member packets made up. I'm going to go back. Anybody that joins in March, of course, we'll get them to them in February too, I think. But we're going to have some printed materials to the hedgerow historians, and that's the regular and full members, and the poor visiting Irish scholars. You know, those poor scholars or visiting scholars were students that went not just to their local head school, which was a secret deal anyway, but once they learned what they could from that teacher, they moved on to another school in another part of the country, and people treated them real well, and sometimes they didn't even have to pay for a meal when they were traveling. So we'll learn all about that kind of thing and all the other subjects coming up. That's all for today, folks. Joseph, warm up those pipes. Remember, we have a broadcast series on Irish song and recitation, on local history of the Irish in America, and on 2,000 years of Irish history, as well as on the counties, and something special coming up on Irish language, I hope. We've got all that and more at our head school at irishroots.com. And you know, we've been known to appear, exhibit, teach, and even sing for your special events. Be sure to book in advance if it's important, and write me at my American address at Irish Roots Cafe, Box 7575, Kansas City, Missouri, 64116. Leave a message by phone at 816-256-3360. Reach me on my webpage at irishroots.com. Skype me at the Irish Roots Cafe. Get me on MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, and Irish Central. Members foot the bill, so they get first priority, but we're open to all. And by the way, a big thank you to all of our members. And away.